You've got to control your time. Okay, at the end of the day in life, life doesn't go to the most talented. In fact, most of the time, the most talented do not succeed in life, okay, in a big way. I'm not saying that if you're smart and you work hard and so on, okay, I'm not suggesting that. All I'm saying to you is talent rarely is the determining factor. What the determining factor is more than anything is control of your time. I'm not the most talented human being. I'm certainly not the smartest, but I control my time. I make sure that I get done at the time slots that need to get done. I make sure what I need to get done, get done. You're going to have a hard time distracting me from getting done what needs to be done at that moment. And because of that, I have a lot more free time. I'm not constantly trying to catch up. When you know your life goals, okay, nothing wastes more time than not having a clear goal of what you want out of life, okay? You want to talk about time wasters? Not have your goals right in front of you, okay? I'm not talking about some fuzzy thing. I'm talking about, you know what you got to do this half an hour to be on track for this week, to be on track for this month, to be on track for this year, to be on track for your 5 and 10 year dream life, okay? It's got to come down to that. And if you don't know that, I promise you, you have no problem wasting this half an hour. You've got to make a priority of the 2 or 3 things, that you need to get done. Okay. I mean, most of you, your list is way too long, and maybe it's more than 2 or 3, but all I'm saying to you is there's 2 or 3 things you've got to get done no matter what, and they can't be delayed. If your child was in the hospital, how many things would you do before you went and saw her or him? Okay. I mean, it's got to be that critical, because you putting off what you need to do now is killing you for your future. Don't make these big, long lists. Okay. If you want to make a list, make it the things that I absolutely know no matter what will get done by 11 o'clock. And then the things that I'm going to try to get done afterwards. I'm going to suggest you that you prune out, okay, at least one thing a year. I just found that people think they got unlimited time, and usually there are like a truckload of things that they're doing that just don't matter. It doesn't get them a dream life. It doesn't get them all that they want. Okay, they're just fiddle-farting around doing those things. Do you want a dream life, or do you want to have a good golf game? Do you want a dream life, or do you want to be a great whatever video game person? Or do you want a dream life, or do you want to watch as many Netflix sessions as any human on the planet? Okay, I mean, it's those kind of decisions. Okay, you got to prune your life. Success is a lot more about what you say no to than what you say yes to. You can't take the shortcuts. It's your life. Okay, we're talking about a dream life, and you're going to take a shortcut? Have you lost your mind? Okay, whatever shortcut you take, okay, it's going to be the long cut in the beginning. We talked about Nvidia's killing it with 8 or 9 licenses, okay? It takes massive amount of time to get people licensed. You could easily shortcut that process and not get as many people licensed, okay? You shot yourself in the foot. And then you've got to insulate. Okay, if you're going to control your time, you've got to insulate yourself from distractions. I don't care if you do it permanently or you just do it during the time you're focused, but every single day, there has to be a time that you've turned off your notifications, that you're not looking at incoming texts, that you're not looking at social media, okay? If it's not getting you what you need to get for that hour or 2 hours or whatever it is every single day in terms of move your business forward, you can't get distracted by that leading up to this, okay? But what you're doing is you're creating batches of time, blocks of time that you make sure you get done the most important thing. We've talked about this. I'm not going to go through it right now, but we talked about the one thing and so on. I'm just going to challenge you. It's got to be the same every day. Blocking that time, it's got to be the key stuff, the one thing that gets you where you want to go. The most common theme of any successful person. I don't care if you're talking about the Elon Musks or you're talking about the local businesses or whatever. If they're successful at what they do, okay, they block time every single day, probably very early in the morning, to do the most important thing. You've got to be that person. If your days are different, okay, I'm challenging you, that's not going to work. We talked about have a block of time for returning your texts, your direct message, your phone calls, okay, all that kind of stuff. Of course, after you do the one thing, the most important thing has to be done first. And when we talk about blocking time, we're also talking about blocking time for your family. Okay, the dumbest thing on the planet would be for you to go get rich and lose the key relationships of your life. Okay, so Elizabeth and I did that every Sunday. Okay, that was the highest priority. Okay, in fact, I think I mentioned this a while back. I had somebody come ask me, "What if somebody wants to do X, Y, Z during that?" Okay, well, then they'll have to do a different time. Okay, my family is the most important thing. I'm not rescheduling my family. Like I'll reschedule an appointment. I'm not rescheduling my family. And then have a block of time for communicating with your team.